In this video, we're going to look at how to handle the SAP multiple logon license warning dialog. In this case, we can use the multiple logon license warning standard SAP module. In an enterprise SAP project, we often have to execute multiple transactions for different requirements. While testing these project scenarios, our pre- and post conditions will require us to log out and back in again between transactions. This may lead to multiple SAP application logins. And when that happens, we will receive a pop-up dialog message where we need to specify what action we want to take regarding these multiple logins. We can handle this pop-up dialog using the multiple logon license warning standard module. However, we will not get this information dialog window every time we sign into our SAP system. So we need to ensure that our test case works when this pop-up dialog window does appear, as well as when it doesn't appear. There are two ways by which we can tackle this situation. First, using the if statement in Tosca Commander, and second, by using a recovery scenario. Let's quickly have a look at the module. You can find the module in Standard Modules, TBox Engines, SAP. This module includes two module attributes. First, we have login options. This option specifies what to do with the attempts to sign in. We have three different options to choose from here. Continue with this logon and end any other logons in system. You should choose this option when you want to continue with the current logon attempt and terminate any other logon attempts. Then we have continue with this logon without ending any other logons on system. You should choose this option if you want to continue with the current logon attempt and leave any other logon attempts. Finally, we have terminate this logon. Choose this option when you want to terminate the current logon attempt. The second attribute that we have is buttons. This will be used to steer the dialog box buttons such as confirm selection and cancel the selection to close the dialog box. We will be using the login option continue with this login and end any other logins in system throughout our example. If we were to continue with multiple active SAP sessions, Tosca Commander would not be able to recognize which application to test, causing your test cases to fail. So let's look at an example where we have two test cases to run, and each of them has a test step to sign into our SAP system. First, we will see the option using an if statement. If we execute our test cases without handling the license information for multiple logon dialog window, our second test case will fail. Therefore, we need to make sure that if we get the license information for multiple logon dialog window, we choose continue with this logon and end any other logons in system, and then continue the execution of our next transaction or test case. To do so, add the if statement to the second test case and place it right after the login test step. Add the SAP multiple logon license warning module to create a test step to verify whether the dialog pops up and verify whether the option terminate this logon is selected in it. Now add the same module in the then statement to create a test step to select continue with this logon and end any other logons in system. Finally, confirm your selection. Make sure to use the action mode input for both test step values. The SAP backend system will generate a warning that another session is being terminated. To handle this, scan this warning dialog and create a module including the OK button to continue with our execution. As we have already scanned this warning dialog and created a module, we simply need to drag and drop this module to create the test step to handle this backend warning. That's it. Save your work, and now you're ready to execute the test cases in your Scratchbook. Let's have a look at the second option, which is using a recovery scenario on the same example test cases. So first, let's disable the if statement we created earlier, as we don't want to use this option now. Before you use the recovery scenario to handle a pop-up dialog message, make sure your recovery settings for on dialog failure, on exception failure, and on verification failure are all set to recover. Now, to handle the pop-up dialog message using a recovery scenario, create a recovery scenario collection and a recovery scenario init. Add the SAP multiple logon license warning module to create a test step. Select Continue with this logon and end any other logons in system as login option and confirm the selection. To handle the SAP backend system warning about another session being terminated, we will simply use the module that we scanned earlier. Remember that recovery scenarios only work in execution lists and not in the scratchbook. So let's quickly create an execution list and run the newly created execution list. It's best practice to use the recovery scenario option and avoid if statements where possible. To summarize, in this video, we've now seen how the standard module SAP multiple logon license warning works, how to utilize it, using the if statement, and, following the best practice, using a recovery scenario. Thanks for watching.